Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round. I'm your host, Matt Moore, and we are here discussing The Preacher. Not any particular episode, actually. Geeks of the Round is starting to do a start of episode, maybe mid-season, and then a finale type of hangout. So maybe 2 to 3 hangouts per TV show. And that's actually going to free us up to do a lot more. So this is where we start, right here at The Preacher. So let's introduce a panel. Charles, what did you think of this show? You did not want to watch it. So tell us about that.
What? I was
You didn't want to watch it.
That is true.
No, I said that I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure that I didn't want to watch it, but to be honest, I'm glad I did watch it because this show was awesome. And the main reason why was because of Cassidy. I love that cheeky Irishman. Oh my God, he was hilarious.
And how about you, Lou? What did you think of the episode?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I liked the little one-liners that were dropped, even the ones that you read on a billboard at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Which happened twice. There was also once at the end of the episode. But yes, all right.
It was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to. I don't know how long this season is going to be, but I'm looking forward to watching the full run. The only thing that kind of is upsetting that we don't get one next week.
Yeah.
Seriously, already a skipped week?
Well, because remember, this week coming up is Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I personally would have figured, why don't they just wait 2 more weeks and then start the season?
That makes sense. Now, I have a question for you, because I have remained silent on this. What do you think I thought of the episode? That's for Lou. What do you think I thought of the episode?
Well, since you saw it twice, that means you liked it.
Or I was preparing for the hangout.
I think more you liked it. Or you watched it the first go-around kind of drunk, and the second go-around was to get a refresher.
That is a fair assessment, but untrue. But it is fair. Charles, what did you think? I'm going somewhere with this. I swear, I'm not being narcissistic. Charles, what did you think I thought of the episode?
Oh, you are definitely being a narcissist right now. But
No. Trust me.
He's trying to. If I am correct, he's trying to compare it to some of the comic aspects of where this first episode was.
Okay. In that case, I'd say that you enjoyed it for the most part, but there were probably some inaccuracies with the comics that you noticed and have a problem with. But overall, you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. I did think that it was good. However, that was like me saying that I thought Civil War was good. Civil War, the movie, was good. It was actually really good. However, compared to the comics of which it was based on, it's fucking nothing. And that's kind of where Preacher is. Preacher was pretty damn good. But the comics raised my expectations so much. There ended up being a 4-minute teaser of the first part of Preacher. And with one exception, it was pretty accurate to the comics. The exception is in the comics, you find out where the being is, the being that ends up taking over Jesse Custer's body. You end up finding where that came from. And where that came from is that an angel and a demon fell in love and fuck like bunnies. Now, that's just it, is you end up having the divine and you end up having the evil. And first off, you create the first truly neutral creature in all the universe. He really is truly neutral. The being is known as Genesis. I don't know if they're going to mention that he is the son of a demon and an angel. We will see. We'll see how far they're willing to go there. But here's the thing, is the Christian right. By the way, I'm a Christian, but I'm a Christian left. So I believe in tolerance and love and all that other fun stuff. The Christian right, however, is going to go ape shit over this show. Like, they are going to be pissed. And Charles, at some point, I probably want you to write an article on this.
Oh, God. You want me? You want my opinion from an atheist viewpoint about a show that has to do with God? Son of a bitch.
Because I want to hear the atheist viewpoint. I want to hear everyone's viewpoint. In any case, so this show is going to piss off so many people. It's not. I mean, it's about a preacher who is very upset with God, who in this episode straight out said, I'd pray if someone were listening. And in the comics, we actually get quite a bit into this. Because this is an opening episode, and we're talking about what we expect from this show, from this point on, at least anything out of me is a potential spoiler. And I say potential because of the fact that we don't fucking know where they're going with this show. However, in the comics, to give an example, God is an absentee father. And he is an absentee father because of the fact that Genesis was born, and Genesis is more powerful than him. So he fled. He ran like a little bitch, and basically he imprisoned Genesis, and then left. Yes, Charles, go ahead, make the supernatural reference.
Oh God, yeah, I was gonna say it, dude, but I didn't think that I should because I think it was fairly obvious between you and me because Lou doesn't watch Supernatural. But yeah, the first thing that popped up into my fucking head. It's like, dude, you're talking about God being an absentee father. Yeah, that's basically taking a number from Supernatural.
But Supernatural took it from this. This came out before Supernatural. Comic-wise.
But the whole story of like God being an absentee father, it's not just focused to preacher and Supernatural. It's spread out across all kinds of mediums. Because
it really is.
It kind of feels like that in Lucifer.
It is kind of like that in Lucifer, kind of.
And I've actually talked to Charles about this directly because we actually have pretty deep conversations about whether or not God is an absentee father or if he just has priorities. Because he's a Christian, or sorry, I'm a Christian, he's an atheist. But so we actually have really good conversations. But in this show, he literally, this Genesis, which is the creature's name, was born, and it is this child. At least when you count the time of the universe, he is a child who is abandoned and left alone and left into a prison and has more power than the most powerful being in the universe. And so when he finally escapes, he's looking for Dad. He's looking for God. And he wants to find out why God did what he did to him.
Okay.
So he finds a like-minded soul. Sorry, go on, Lou.
I love that Africa scene.
That's just it. That was one of the first changes that I noticed. Is that when Genesis ends up taking over a body, everything around it goes boom. The African church, boom. The Russian, or whatever, the second one, boom. Jesse Custer's church, All Saints Congregational, goes boom. And if I remember correctly, there were other people in there. No, it's not if I remember correctly. I do remember correctly. His entire congregation was there when it went boom, and he's the only one who walked out.
He has a congregation because it doesn't feel like it.
No, that's the thing that I noticed as well. Is that when we see the first scene of the church of the mass where he's just reading from a paper, and they're just going there. There's some guys looking at their watch, going like, "Really? I mean, how much longer do we have to be in here?" Kind of thing. I'm like, dude, look, I'm not religious in any way, but when you come to church, you need to at least act like you want to be there. I mean,
bro.
No,
I get what you're saying, Whedon.
I mean, yes, Charles, you make a very good point, and good churches are that way. Absolutely. You want to be there. You want to be social. You want to congregate. And this church is even trying that. I mean, they have a freaking barbecue after every session. We saw that. But...
yeah, barbecue of debauchery.
I mean, look at his service.
There are a lot of churches where you have to fight your way through it.
Look at his service.
Oh, I know. I mean, I was raised fucking Catholic, and I went to church every fucking Sunday when I was a kid. And you know what I did? I just sort of daydreamed through the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You daydream through most of our shows.
No,
Yeah.
I zone out. There's a difference.
But
yes, I mean, so first off, I'm glad we're not talking about this episode point for point because of the fact that it gives us a lot more leeway. This is going to be a long hangout for you guys because we got a lot to cover. But yeah, I mean, churches generally like that. I mean, for most people, unless you are feeling the love, as it were, to quote Jerry Maguire, unless you are their heart and soul, it's fucking boring. And there are many people who are bored as fuck, who are there because of the fact that they think that that's the point, that you're supposed to be bored as fuck, and that's mostly the Catholics. In any case, not pushing if I'm pushing a religious agenda, I'm doing a really bad job at it. This show questions those things. He's all like, is God there? Is God paying attention? And because he doesn't know yet in this episode. And we find out more about God. And I'm not giving that away because I know about God in this show. We end up meeting a bunch of people on the way. First off, we meet Tulip.
Mm-hmm.
Tulip, who, by the way, is Jesse Custer is early 30s. Tulip is early 40s in the comics. She is an older, well, she's not old, but she is older than Jesse is. And she kicks more ass than Jesse does. And she can kick Jesse's ass any day of the week. He could be at top fighting shape. She could be drunk as a skunk and having fought 12 other people. If the two of them squared off, she would kick his ass with one arm tied behind her back. She is that kick-ass. We're given a different look of Tulip here. She's much younger. She still kicks ass. She's very inventive. She made a fucking
bazooka type thing.
Yeah, and I got
black.
Oh, she's not black in the comics?
No, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Oh shit!
Remember this comic came out in the mid-90s, which was not racist at all. At least, compared to our history, it's not racist at all. But when you look at the Good Old Boys, and I'm going to reference the Good Old Boys a lot, when you look at the Good Old Boys, they did not date black people in the 90s. They just didn't. That was not going to happen. They also could get away with long flowing hair, which Jesse Custer is known for his long flowing hair. You also got away with David Bowie looking fuckers, which Cassidy looked like a David Bowie looking fucker. Obviously, all three of those characters have been completely remodeled for 2016.
Okay.
Makes sense. I mean,
and, on the subject of Cassidy, even though I thought Cassidy was completely badass in this episode, I thought he was hilarious, jumping out of the plane with only an umbrella, basically becoming a crater filled with body parts and guts in his upper torso, and then
that is straight out of the comic.
Yeah, and he grabs the cow and he goes like, "Yeah, you're a sight for sore eyes, aren't you?" And then he pulls the cow in, and the cow screams. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, this is all awesome, but explain to me, how does a vampire exist in this universe?
That's a very good question, and one I think they eventually addressed in the comics, but long after I stopped reading. Long after I stopped reading, that's just it. Is for example, to give a equivalent character to him. In the comics, he was a David Bowie-looking vampire. Do we know of any other character that was a David Bowie-looking vampire? Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Spike.
You both failed. In any case,
watch that show.
I did, and so I failed legitimately because I used to watch that show religiously, and I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I should.
The name of that show just turned me off.
Yeah, so I should have known who he was talking about. I should have known who he was talking about.
In any case, that particular vampire was, 600 years old? Something like that?
Around that, yeah.
Cassidy's 100. That's it. 100.
Okay.
If he's a vampire, he's the youngest fucking vampire that I've seen, other than ones made in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I got another question. Is he the only vampire in this universe?
In the comics, no. But there are not many.
Oh, so they were like nearly wiped out to the brink of extinction, so now they're just trying to survive?
I don't remember. But
even though I don't understand why it would be that difficult to repopulate, because all they'd have to do is just pick up a bunch of random humans, bite them, turn them into vampires. That's it.
That's if in this universe that's how you make a vampire.
That is
We don't
true.
know that.
See, Matt, you're making it a hard argument for me to not stay away from reading this thing. I want the show to be good on its own. But
there's just so much good in the comics.
You know what?
I want to read it because I'm sorry. After reading the comics of The Walking Dead and then watching some of the elements of that television show, it ruins how good the comic can be. And I don't want Preacher to do that. I want to like Preacher for what it is. And you're making the comic just seem so good.
You know what? First chance I get, I'm buying the comic.
That's just it. Preacher is my to me, Watchmen is my second favorite. Well, aside from Batman, because Batman has a lot of amazing stories, and aside from Sandman. Okay, Sandman number 1.
Okay.
We're not counting Batmans because there's too many. Preacher number 2, Watchmen number 3. Preacher is better than Watchmen.
Really?
That's how good it is.
Because everyone I know, including Isaiah, says that Watchmen is one of the best comic book stories ever created.
Yes, that is correct.
And the funny thing is, you didn't even finish reading Preacher.
That's just it. It started to get a little CW deep into the 3rd or 4th of the I forget graphic novels.
Trade paperbacks. It started to
get kind of CW-ish, and so I stopped reading at that point.
Dude, it only has 66 issues.
And they were bundled into like 6 different graphic novels. I stopped reading somewhere around 3 or 4.
Thanks.
Well, I don't have a problem with the whole CW-ish type storytelling, so I think I'll just trudge through all of them.
At this point, Tulip and Jesse have already been through a make-up-breakup type of situation.
Oh, so they're like a couple.
That's just it. They were a couple for a long time until, I'm not going to say what, but something happened to Jesse. And Jesse had to drop her ass like a bad habit.
Did she kick his ass and he didn't like it?
No, but she was about to afterwards.
But okay, Tulip, I have a question for you.
Tulip does not respond to rejection well.
I could tell the way she was in the car. And that seemed But before we go on, remember when he went into that old man's house that was laying on the couch and he heard the woman in the shower and he just hauled ass? Who's
yes. That? That's just it. Is when it happened, I thought it was Tulip. Because it was before Tulip was really introduced in here.
Yeah, it was Tulip.
But
no, it wasn't. It was a white woman.
No, it wasn't Tulip. This was a blonde. At least it seemed blonde, like someone who was stacked. And I'm gonna guess it's Jesse's father, or not father. Family.
Okay.
Jesse's family is the most fucked up, near type of family that you've ever met. Like, if they saw a pig and they decided to fuck it, that would literally be the least worst thing that they did that day.
Oh, that's some sick, creepy, funky shit.
So it's like squeal piggy, you got a pretty mouth, kind of crazy.
And the less of that they do, the more AMC has failed us. There are so many different things in this comic that AMC cannot do that it's just ridiculous. They can't, for example, show us Jesus. They can't. They just can't. I won't tell you why, but they can't.
So basically, this would have been better off being on Cinemax.
Yes. The character of Jesus does not wear pants 99% of the time.
Now I see why you can't show him. Hey, what if they show him with the blur thing down there?
Wait, I got a question. Is it Jesus as in some Mexican guy named Jesus, or is it Jesus as in the Son of God?
That's kind of open for interpretation, but it's implied that it is the Son of God. He is known as Jesus de Sade, as in the Marquis de Sade, as in the fucker that would fuck anyone.
So, like man, woman, cow, pig, horse, dog, sheep.
Absolutely. Armadillo. That is not out of my ass. That is a literal thing that happened in the comic.
He fucked an armadillo.
Well, he didn't fuck the armadillo himself, but he inserted things into the armadillo. Yes.
What the fuck? I gotta watch.
The comic is all sorts of fucked up.
I gotta read this comic. I really do. I gotta buy.
Dude. Ash Face made me laugh.
Who did?
A man talk with an asshole coming.
Oh yeah, Arseface.
Yeah, Arseface. Yeah.
Let's talk about Arseface. Arseface is in a cult, or he was in a cult. The cult was, and this is not a joke, the cult of Kurt Cobain. They worshipped Nirvana. They worshipped Kurt Cobain. And the ultimate transcendence was to put a shotgun in your mouth and pull the fucking trigger. That's how Arseface became Arseface, is because he did not die. He tried to kill himself because he worshipped Kurt Cobain.
Son of a bitch. God damn it. I really, really, really have to read this comic now. God damn it.
Oh my god.
So let's talk about the characters. No more spoilers, at least for a little while, I don't think. You have Tulip. Tulip's been retooled. Tulip has become a very confident, very good at what she does, which is killing, black woman, which is fucking awesome because it's 2016, and even the fundamentalists, even the crazy fundamentalists, many of them have seen the light and realized racism is bad. Then you have Jesse Custer, who no longer looks like an '80s cowboy rocker. He now looks, regular, like you would in 2016. I think that's cool. Cassidy no longer looks like fucking David Bowie. He looks like, well, the act. If I were to say he looked like somebody, I'd say he looks like the actor who plays him. Like, literally, I'd be like, I don't remember that fucker's name, but he looks just like that. That actor, I swear, did not have to do a goddamn thing to look like the current version of Cassidy, because that's what he looks like in every fucking movie he's in.
Okay.
I forget the actor's name, but I swear to you, if you looked him up, you'd be like, oh yeah, I am. And he looks exactly the same. He always has that fucking hipster hair flip, even though he's farthest from a hipster you can ever be. Him covered in blood, including his sunglasses, straight from the comics. A lot of these visuals are going to be straight from the comics.
Dude, homie threw a bottle that he cracked on the thing through the guy, and then he fucking poured him forward to drain some of his blood into a plastic bottle.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, just so he'd that's his food to go. That's him going to a drive-thru, basically.
All right. Cassidy is played by the actor Joe Gilgun.
Joe, how do you spell that shit? The last name.
Joe Gilgun, Gilgun.
All right, so, but yeah, I mean, there were Gun. Okay, Emmerdale. Trying to remember where I saw him before. It had to be some like Train Spotting looking kind of shit, but I've seen him before and he looked exactly like that in a show. Not Preacher. Misfits! He was in Misfits. And that's exactly what he looked like. He was the pervert in Misfits.
Okay. Then watch.
Never saw Misfits.
You have missed out. If you have not watched the first 2 seasons of Misfits, you've missed out. After that, you can stop watching. It gets really bad. But in any case, where were we? So yeah, they're redoing some of the characters, changing their looks, maybe changing them a little bit. Like Tulip isn't so old. However, and they're probably not going to show us Jesus. However, there are some things that they have to show us. They have to show us Arseface, which we've already seen. They have to show us because he's the main antagonist. They're eventually going to have to show us God. They're eventually going to have to show us the Saint of Killers, which is, to make a supernatural reference, is the same as Cain. He's Cain. Think of him as
Who
that.
are those 2 guys in the end of the episode that are looking for the Genesis? Aren't those the same?
I'm forgetting the name of their cult, but they are part of a cult who is actively trying to start Armageddon, and they're doing that by trying to control Genesis.
Okay.
Because without Genesis, God can just stop it whenever the fuck he wants.
But I'm still loving the fact that Tom Cruise is dead.
Tom Cruise is dead?
There was a clip.
Did you not see it when the preacher was in the bar, and they showed Tom Cruise died?
Oh no, I missed that.
Yeah, where apparently Genesis ended up going to the Church of Scientology and possessed Tom Cruise, and it didn't work, so Tom Cruise blew up and died.
Oh no, that's fucking hilarious. That's great.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise explodes. That's the headline on the TV screen.
That's fucking hilarious. No, I missed that. What
Right
else do we have?
Beat that damn guy's ass, which was so awesome.
Yeah, we end up having dude. I don't remember a dude's name. I'm just gonna call him Cody, just because I always think of Cody as a douchebag name. That might have actually been his name.
Douchebag works.
He ends up like beating his wife, but his wife likes it.
Weird shit there.
Yeah,
I don't believe that was how it worked in the comic, because 50 Shades of Grey wasn't a thing back then. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. And then of course, him beating the shit out of him and his friends, that happened. I believe Cassidy had a little bit of more of a role in the fight in the comics.
I was gonna say, because all he did was kick a chair, and he gets arrested for that.
Yeah, but personally, I think that's all Cassidy really needed to do. I mean, I didn't think he needed to be a part of the fight because it was all about Jesse during that whole situation.
True.
As far as I'm concerned, and I know you guys are going to disagree, that episode was until 44 minutes in when that fight started. Then I was all like, here we go. This is the fucking show.
All right. On that note, I'm actually going to agree with you because prior to that fight, the only scenes that I thoroughly enjoyed were the scenes with Cassidy. That's it.
Okay.
Everything else was just, like you said, meh. Yeah.
Damn. I was thoroughly enjoying it from start to finish.
I mean,
I love the scene where the mom bails out the preacher, and the kids are arguing over the tablet, and then she fucking breaks the tablet on the van dashboard. It reminded me of my mother.
Okay, all right.
Because obviously she wants the preacher, like, I like pie. Basically, you're going to fucking take pie away from me? Fuck you, asshole. Like,
you know what? I'm actually tempted to quite actually take a pie from you and see how you respond.
Oh, that won't work out well for you, Charles. That won't work out well for you at all. I may be a fat Marine, but I'm still a Marine. In any case, so, but yeah, I mean, the show itself overall was enjoyable. Let me see, what else do we need to talk about? Of course, we ended up having, let me see, the fight. We had Tulip trying to get Jesse back into doing the job that they were doing, which was obviously, killing people and accomplishing goals. Killing people primarily. And he wasn't with that. Even though he was questioning doing things for God, he still wanted to do good things.
Well, he did a good
and
thing. He told the man to be brave and tell your mom the truth.
Yes.
And give her a piece of your heart.
Oh my God, that was fucked up.
Wait till you see how he discovers his own powers. Just stay tuned, because he doesn't know he has powers yet. Wait till you find out how he figures out he has powers.
Oh, dude, but will you guys both agree that fucking particular character was annoying as shit?
Yeah,
he was supposed to be. Yeah, that was the point.
Oh, I wanted to jump through my computer screen and stab him.
Yeah. I didn't want to stab him. I just kind of wanted to kick him to the ground and just kick his face in with the heel of my boot.
And that tells you what kind of his character actually tells you what kind of character Jesse is. Jesse really, truly wants to do good. So much so that he's willing to put up with that asshole.
Oh, I
with that
jackass. I couldn't have done it.
And the worst part is, I actually have known somebody like that. And it actually got so bad that when I was walking out of the location where the guy worked, he would follow me out, and I'd have to flip him the bird like this, right in front of his face. Like his face would be like about right here. And I would just keep doing that until he walked away. And I never spoke to that little shit ever again.
I have had people like that in my life as well.
Yeah.
And generally, I try to amuse them for a little bit, and then it's just like, you know what? Dude, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm getting you out of my life.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it anymore, so I just told him to fuck off.
I've been fortunate.
Well, it's either you've been fortunate or you just don't give a shit and you just don't let shit like that bother you.
Oh, dude, he was bothering me. I would. Why do you think I don't like to go out anymore? I don't like people.
None of us do.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, I mean, me especially. I hate fucking people.
We can pick and choose who we include in our internet circles.
Exactly.
Do you see Isaiah in this hangout right now?
No, I did tell him to watch the show, but he said he had no interest.
Of course he didn't.
Because I thought, we were going to do it a different way, and this would have been more weekly, so I wanted to have a decent-sized panel.
3 people is a decent-sized panel.
Well, we don't know if
no, it's a minimum panel.
Watching.
It's a minimum panel.
Remember, this was supposed to be my show.
So, oh yeah, that's right. You want to do the hangouts, huh?
Yeah, but I'll follow y'all lead, bastards.
Sorry. But if Deanno hadn't grabbed me for drinking, I was planning on watching your hangout earlier, but Deanno grabbed me for drinking.
That shit was only 20 minutes.
Beer before bros, huh?
Beer before bros, yes, absolutely. Fuck yes. All right, so what else about this episode do we want to talk about? Do we want to explore any other characters? Is anything else important to us right now?
I don't know if it's already been touched on, but the mom that smashed the tablet. She is romantic.
I'll be honest, Charles. I don't remember her from the comics. I'm sure she's in the comics. I don't remember her though.
Okay, but do you think that she's going to be a potential love interest for Jesse?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
She may want it, but
it's not going to be. It's not going to be for a damn long time. And I'm not going to say why because it is kind of a big spoiler. But no. Let's just put it this way: she's not ready for Jesse's baggage because Jesse's got some fucking baggage. She thinks she is. She's not.
Okay, so but it's just during the entire episode with the interactions between the two of them, it was just screaming potential love plot. It was just screaming that, going like, hey, look, we're gonna fuck later. Just, I mean, it wouldn't stop. It was like
if it does happen, I'm happy with that because I like the character. The character is probably the only normal character in the entire fucking show, and so I'm good with that. What's that?
The little boy was normal. He wanted he wanted his daddy beat up.
That was not
seriously,
that was not the same
she
person.
seems to be the only sane person on this fucking show. So I mean, I think it'd be awesome if they were a love interest, but no.
Well, we know that they're going to change up some of the elements.
Yeah, they're going to have to. Like Matt said, we really want to see pantsless Jesus, but we're not going to get it.
Yeah, you can do it. You can put the invisible thing in front of him and block the screen.
Oh my god, I can just see it now. They're going to basically make this whole, like, the black bar thing, it's going to just go straight down vertical, and it's going to be very, very long. And it's going to make him hung like a horse.
But let me see, what else can't they do? Other characters that they can't do. First off, whether or not they're actually going to do to be chasing after God, that's just it. That's the entire point. Is that Jesse is going to be chasing after God, looking for God, to ask God what the fuck. He's not going after God to exact vengeance. He's not going after God to punish him, but he is going to get answers. That is his point. But the thing is we live in a, at least comparatively, conservative country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no more conservative country than us that is not controlled by a dictator. Obviously North Korea, but that's another thing. Mm-hmm. That's a dictator's type of situation. For people that rule themselves, we are the only conservative country. So, are we going to be able to portray the Christian God as he is in the comics? And I don't think we are.
Well, obviously he's not the same as, let's say, Chuck from Supernatural.
No. He's not entirely far off. He's really not.
Because Chuck is basically Chuck in Supernatural is basically what's the word? Some guy that randomly, like, sits in his house eating Funyuns and watching porn in his boxers and a t-shirt.
All right. So, if you're worried about spoilers, mute me for about 5 seconds. God is a narcissist, and that's why he created us, is because he needed someone to worship him.
That is nothing like what it is in Supernatural.
He has very human flaws.
Well,
and that's why I say
God created man in his image, so yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. In any case, what else do we have to talk about?
Let's see. I know it's quite minor, but it was the scene where they introduced Tulip. It was in the cornfield where she was basically kicking the guy's ass in the back seat of the car while nobody was driving it. Yeah, I'm sorry. In regards to cinematography during that scene, it was fucking fantastic. I thought that scene had great angles. It was just awesome. I loved every bit of it. And the inner, like, former interested in filmmaking person that I used to be, I gotta say, I loved that scene for its cinematography.
Were you as entranced as I was by the S's, the snake pattern that it was making in the cornfield?
I actually did not notice that.
Oh, you didn't? Like, check it out. It literally makes like a snake pattern just through the cornfield.
You know, when it actually took the downward, like, the overhead shot, we actually saw the corn being written out. I could have sworn they were going to make out the shape of a crop circle. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Dude, she might type the guy.
So, things we need to look forward to. Things that they have to show. First off, we eventually have to go on a quest to find God. Mm-hmm. Whether or not we actually meet God, that's another question. Mm-hmm. Second off, we need to actually get the one person who can kill Genesis and into the story. That is the Saint of all killers. I won't talk too much about him and what he ends up doing in this, or at least in the comics, because that's huge spoiler. But he ends up being a reoccurring villain. I say villain because he works for the good guys. I say villain with a question mark because he works for the good guys. And then we also have Arseface shows up here and there, but it's really Jesse Custer's family that I think they're going to focus on in the TV show. Because Jesse Custer's family is a bunch of son of bitches. They are the most incestuous. Like they make Lannisters look fucking normal.
Okay.
Pig fucking yeah. I mean they are horrible, horrible, horrible people who believe that they are following what God has told them.
All right, now that brings me up to makes me bring something up about the TV show. Is that during the flashback scenes that were black and white, where Jesse was a kid and we saw the other guy in the priest uniform, which I assume was his biological father.
It was.
What was going on with that?
His father made him promise to be a preacher. And that's just it. This is not Jesse's first time as a preacher.
But
he became a preacher and then said, I'm no good at this. And he fucking took off with Tulip. And then his family found him, kidnapped him, basically told him, you know what, if you don't become a preacher again, we're going to fucking kill everything you care about. Sorry, my chair's broken. We're going to kill everyone you care about, including Tulip. And so that's why he had to end up leaving Tulip.
Huh.
And that's why Tulip hates him.
But why,
and loves him at the same time.
But why kill the father? Why kill Jesse's father?
Well, I don't remember who killed Jesse's father specifically. But I don't think that was the family that did it. But yeah, it was that promise that basically bound Jesse to be a preacher in the first place. But like, if he follows the comics, this should be his second time trying to be a preacher.
Okay.
So, if he quits this time, we don't know how it's going to end up.
Well, remember, he did try to quit at the end, and then he decided to change his mind.
Yeah, because he was possessed by Genesis, and Genesis changed his mind.
I don't know that Genesis changed his mind. I think that him actually seeing the people in his congregation that is not normally in his congregation actually show up, like Arseface, I think that changed his mind. That he actually is doing good as a preacher. That's a theory. I don't know. We'll see. Do we have anything else to talk about? Anything else about this episode that we want to bring up without spoiling too much, because we've spoiled a lot? I've spoiled a lot, sorry.
You really can't say you spoiled because we don't know where the show's going compared to what the comic did.
That's true.
So it's really not spoiling. At least I don't see it as spoiling much because, I mean...
I've definitely left out spoilers about Cassidy. I've definitely left out spoilers about Tulip. I've definitely left out spoilers about Jesse and his family as much as I've talked about them. I've definitely left out spoilers about God. And I've definitely, I've left out spoilers about everything.
I'm pretty sure they'll touch on some of those as an element, but we know since it's on AMC, they can't fulfill it like if they would have been on Cinemax.
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
okay.
Who wrote this?
Garth Ennis.
This isn't Kirkman's work, right?
No. Kirkman did Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
No, this was Garth Ennis, and here, let me take a look. I'm trying to think of what else Garth Ennis has done.
Because I mean, I noticed that Kirkman got another one of his comic lines on television, but it's on Cinemax, and it premiered this week. Outcast.
Here we go. Garth Ennis also did Hitman, which everybody remembers the horrible movie. Very few people remember the amazing comic.
It was a comic?
Yes, it was.
I thought it was just a video game.
No. Wrong Hitman. We're talking the movie in which the guy curves the bullets with Angelina Jolie.
Oh, so you're talking about Wanted?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
Wanted.
You're right. Okay, sorry. I'm getting comics mixed up. Then it's not Wanted. It's Hitman, which is something else. Never mind. I was wrong. Let me see. What else popular did he do? He did Punisher for a long time. Let's see. Oh, he did Hellblazer for a while, for 3 years. The Demon, which is basically more Hellblazer. It's not Hellblazer, but it's Etrigan. But yeah, I mean, there we go. Miracle Man. Yeah, he worked with Alan Moore a little bit with Miracle Man, Watchmen, and Super Gods. He did Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe. I actually just recently read about that. But yeah, I mean, he's not done normal comics. He does fucked up shit like this. So I don't know. I'm liking it. I mean, the show itself is falling short of the comics by a lot, and it will continue to do so, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to fall short even more and more because the comics are going to get weirder and weirder and weirder. Where the show is
okay. Let me ask you.
The show is probably not going to get too much weirder than what it is right now.
Do you really think, even if let's say we had this on Cinemax, do you really think we would have seen his family members humping a pig?
On Cinemax? On Cinemax, to be honest, I would not be surprised if they did.
Yeah.
I don't even think Cinemax would go that far. Not even HBO.
That's just it. Is if I remember in the comics, the family fucking each other was something that was said, but we never actually saw it. Something like keeping the bloodline pure type of situation.
Dude, let's be real. We're used to that with the Lannisters. That's like second nature now.
Yeah. But we'll see. Do we have any wild speculation? Anyone want to speculate beyond what has been said before?
I can't speculate on something that I'm hesitant to read because of the fact that we don't know where this show is going to go as far as how far they're willing to push the boundary.
Yeah. That's just it. It's AMC. I mean, AMC does some fucking edgy shit, but they will not breach the sexual boundary. They hold off when it comes to that shit. Like, you're not going to see two people having sex in this fucking show. Just like you don't see that in Walking Dead.
Well, we saw it in Breaking Bad.
When?
Dude, when he was humping his wife in the car in front of his school.
Yeah, but we only see them from here up.
Well, of course you don't expect to see visual, just like when we saw Maggie and Glenn getting it on. You see the start of the motion, but you're not going to see like the actual deed. You don't even see much of that on regular TV.
Well, wait. There was actually a sex. It wasn't actually a sex scene per se, but in Breaking Bad, we actually see it happen with Walter and Skyler, and they're actually in their bed at their house. And
yes. But again, we only see them from about here up. And we only see
and there was also the one scene in Breaking Bad when she was sleeping with the her boss,
Ted Beneke,
and she was on top. So I mean, there has been.
And season one, season one of Walking Dead, there was a brief sex scene between Lori and Shane.
Yeah, like very beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
when they were at the campsite.
I'm just saying we're not going to see some of the crazy shit that actually happens in the comics.
No. Are we going to see like clothes still on dry humping? Maybe.
Well, what the hell? We just saw an ass cheek in this episode.
Did we?
Yes, when the woman walked out of the bathroom and towards the window, she's butt naked.
Oh yeah, that's true. But we saw more of the silhouette of the butt than the butt itself. It was pretty well hidden.
I mean, what the hell? We had Arseface on camera. A man with an asshole face.
Well, it looks like an asshole, but Matt clearly explained that it is actually not an asshole.
Dude, I don't care how you explain it or what they do. The dude looks like an asshole.
You know, it kind of reminds me of, like, I'm kind of hoping that something's going to happen similar to that infamous South Park episode where they start consuming food by shoving it up their ass and shitting out of their mouth.
What the fuck?
Yes. That was a very, very well-known South Park episode.
Have you not seen that, Lou? That's actually
I don't watch South Park.
That's one of the most popular episodes of South Park ever. Like that's probably the second most popular episode of South Park ever, with maybe the World of Warcraft being number one or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, the Make Love Not Warcraft. That was the name of the episode.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How do you shove food in your ass and then shit it out your mouth?
It's South Park. What do you expect? Compared to their other shit, that's actually quite tame.
So, let's wrap up. I want to thank everyone for watching. Check us out. This week we've got the season finale of The Flash. We got the season finale of Arrow. What else do we have? We already finished off Legends of Tomorrow, so we're done with that shit.
Yeah, we're done with Legends of Tomorrow.
What else we got other than that? Game of Thrones.
That's it.
That's it.
You get your hiatus.
And then we got a hiatus. Yeah, we're finally fucking finishing this shit up. Again, I'm going to thank everyone for watching. Check us out on geeksoftheround.com, youtube.com/geeksoftheround. Check out our forums at forums.geeksoftheround.com, or give us a call at 801-609-4687. That's 801-609-GOTR. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
More better.
Fuck you!